Oh guys, don't drop your camera in that mess. Ooh, it'd be nasty. Got the old cooker going here. I've showed you my stainless steel melter before. Back in the day I used a copper coil in here, and I used a swing pipe on this side here because the wax would come up in this column here. Under this baffle there's a 1/4 inch slot in the bottom, and then I had a swing pipe. I had a swing L here with a nipple on it. I could swing it up. I threaded it in till it was kind of stiff, and I just hefted it here, and when I wanted to drain it I could come over here and push it down and drain it out into my catch pan. My catch pan was usually a kitty litter pan with a little water in the bottom, and that way the wax would float on that water and be stuck to the bottom of your deal. So we're going to heat that up. There's a mess in there. There's old comb. There's just the problem with all this. You got pupa skins in there. You got bee bodies in there. You got all kind of stuff in there. It's going to take a while to heat this up. That operation's cooking. While that operation's cooking, I got a little old cheapy Harbor Freight workmate bench. Actually was given to me. So isn't that nice? So I got that. I got my catch bucket here with a little agua in it. Okay, I got a little piece of wood in there. I just threw a cross scab wood. This will drain out. This sausage press came. This is a combo sausage fruit press. And it came with this hard masonite circle. And it had one hole in the center. I guess that was for hooking a wire in or whatever and pulling this thing out. But as you can see, there's a pretty big trough in there. Now I was thinking about just leaving this out and letting this press down. Then I got to looking at this thing. I thought, well, there's going to be some material in there that doesn't get pressed out. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to press on top of this. So now that's in there. I drilled 1/4 inch holes, a bunch of 1/4 inch holes in there. I can get that out by taking a long screwdriver in here. You see it pops up a little bit. But you can get a long screwdriver and hit it, and it'll pop up and you can pull it out of there. With this hot water, I don't know if that's going to swell or not. If it does, no big deal. Push come to shove, I can bust it out if I have to, but I think it'll be fine. Because this is normally for, you know, pressing cold meats and cold veggies. I got a little Pam here, grilling spray. And that's what I suggest you use on all this stuff. You don't want to hit it with WD-40. You don't want WD-40 mixing in with your wax, because you're going to be melting this wax and putting it back on frames and stuff with your little 4-inch roller like I showed you in the past. Which you buy these Man Lake, when you buy these Man Lake deals, these frames, they don't come with enough wax, so you need to put it on there. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Okay guys, we got our witch's brew here going. She's not at the melting point yet to where I want it, so as soon as this gets boiling, we're going to put it in this bucket. I'll scoop it out with this scoop here. And I'm going to put it in this bucket here. We'll use that red scoop and put it in here in this little mop pail. And we will come over here and also, I don't know if I said it before, but I'll say it again, girl spray, food grade. You want food grade stuff in here. And I've got my plate down in there. Put that in. I've got a Lowe's paint strainer bag, 5 gallon. We'll put this in there. See how this is going to work. That should work out pretty good. I think I'll get a little spring clamp and bring it over here and hold this with a spring clamp while I'm loading this. Once I get this thing loaded, then we're going to take all this stuff and we're going to twist this, and I'm going to kind of lay it down in there like that on top. And we're going to bring this over and we're going to squeeze her out. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So that's where we're at right now, and I'll see you in a few. Okay guys, I just found some more old comb and threw in the pot here. Kind of stirring around with this big old screwdriver here. As soon as this melts, we'll shut off this thing and start pouring it into our press. This is all experimental too, by the way. I don't know how this press is going to work out. I just have a hunch it's going to. But if it don't, it don't. If you don't try something, you won't know if it's going to work or not. So, got a few honeybees flying around here smelling this old wax. If they're not careful, they're going to be in the pot too. Get out of here, bee. Going to be cooked alive. Yeah, we're just about melted down here. We're about ready to rock and roll here. Get all the sludge out. It's not a bad day today at all, guys. No, to do this, it's, you know, it's only 113 degree heat index, so. But I'm walking in and out of the air conditioner, so it's not too bad. Looks like I'm seeing some little bit of hive beetle larvae cooking in there too. Alright, that's good enough right there. That's good enough. I'm going to shut the juice off. Shut this thing off. Let's start baling this in. Let's run this into our pot here. Out she comes. A lot of wax coming out of there, guys. A lot of pretty wax. That's nice. Let's get some more of this stuff. Well, I went and lost my dipping cup. See if we can't get it fished out of here. Be right back with you. I gotta cool this thing down. All this hot melted wax should be on the top. We don't need to dip way down in there. Your wax is all going to be floating up top here. I'm going to call that good. Okay. Take my clamp off here. Run this down. Put a twist tie here. Like so. I think I've got enough room here to swing our rig over. This is extremely hot, by the way, guys. Extremely hot. Let's crank her down. Squeeze her out. Raise this up. This wax kind of the wax bubbled up and came over top of this pressure plate, so we're going to have some wax on top of that. I can see it right now. Let's take her down and put a squeeze, good squeeze on this stuff. This may be an issue. You see the wax coming up over top of this, but that's all right. We can bust off it once it cools. These filter bags are cheap enough, guys, where you can throw them away. I don't know how much wax we're going to yield out of this. I have no idea. Squeeze it down, let it rest a second. Then you can get another little turn on it. I don't like the fact that this is hanging up here. I may have to do some groove cutting on that. Maybe some little slight angle grinders between these plates. Yeah, we're still pushing wax out, guys. Show you what I'm talking about here in a minute when I bring this back up, this top plate, the screw plate. like I said, this whole thing's experimental. So I'm learning while you're learning. It looks like we're getting a pretty good load of wax down in here. We'll have to filter this. We'll have to heat this up again and filter it again. I know that much. All right, let's bring this back up. All right, just as it starts to come out of the hole, it drained. But as you can see, there's a little lip here, right here. There's a lip here. All this wax is trapped up in here. I don't like that. So here's what I'm going to do, and I don't think it's going to affect the affect the strength and integrity of this cast iron ring. If I put take my angle grinder and put a little groove in each one of these, all this liquid's going to run back in my pot. There's a lot of liquid underneath there yet. Let's take her back down for another squeeze and see what happens. Well, not so much. It's coming back over this plate. It's a possibility that my holes are all plugging up. I'm going to take this back up. There's a lot of good wax on top of that thing right there. There's a lot of wax there, which we want to retrieve every bit we can, of course. That's the object of this whole operation. All right. Alright, there's a lot of liquid up underneath there. I hate to swing this out of the way because I'm going to have wax dumped all over the slab here. So I'm sitting here thinking and guessing what I want to do. I'm thinking at this point in time, guys, we're going to let this whole operation cool down. And then I'm going to see how hard it is. I should be able to pull that bag out of there, because the stuff's going to shrink in as it cools. Then we can pop this wax out and may have to do some more processing. I'm going to have wax stuck up here. We can dig that out all the way around there. Some real pretty wax here, see? On that. So we'll let this whole thing cool down, and actually I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna blue tarp this whole thing for tonight and let everything cool down to where I can get back in here, and we'll dissect this thing and see where we're at. This whole experiment may be for nothing, but we don't know yet. I'm thinking for sure I want to put a little slight angle cut so all this wax drains out of here. We don't need that wax caught in there for sure. And that plate that I put in the bottom might not be a good idea either. We may just want to have the bag sitting in there and squeeze what we can through that. So we'll be back. Hey guys, how's it going? Back here today. Just got in from my hike. Soaking wet. Oh man, is it hot. Anyway, here's what we got. I let this sit overnight, and we had some wax come up here on top. So we're gonna save that. We're gonna salvage this wax here. It's just a little bit here, but every little bit helps, right? It's gonna get remelted. Let's open this puppy up here. What's down in here? Oh, wow. Look at this. Wax. This is the wax that bubbled up over top of our deal. So let me get this in the holster here. Let me wipe your face off in case you have a dirty face, in case you got pie all over your face. There you go. Okay, so we've got this going on. Quite a bit of wax here spilled up over this thing. So we're going to salvage that. We're going to salvage this bit of wax here too. I was thinking about cutting slots in that, but now that I see what's going on here, that's why I wanted to let it cool so we could visually see what's happening. So I don't think there's a need to, because water comes up under here, and see, I get a good release. If I didn't have that water, a little bit of water, see that little bit of water right there? If I didn't have that, that wax would be kind of bonded there a little bit to that. So we're going to salvage all this we can. These chunks out of here. I hope this rag comes out of here. I should. It should come out. Yeah, it's coming out. Get all these little crumbles here. Add to our cake. Okay, there's that nasty mess. What's in this nasty mess? I can tell you one thing, guys. This water stinks. Oh man, with all those dead bodies and stuff in there. So that's what we yielded here. Not a big gob of wax. Let's go out here to the pump house and give her a rinse. Next time I'll do this, I will save up my wax. You know, this is a lot of effort fooling around for this little bit of wax. So save your wax, put it in 5-gallon buckets, put a lid on it, all your old comb and stuff. If you're afraid of the beetles and getting in it and all, freeze them first. Throw all your wax in a plastic garbage bag, throw it in the freezer overnight, whatever, few hours. That will kill all the wax moth larvae and hive beetle larvae. We want to kill those suckers, as many as we can. Okay, that's your first run. That's your first run right there. And this gets remelted again. We're going to filter it again. But I'm going to do it in a smaller container. This here, I'm going to dump that out, wash it out, see what it looks like. Maybe I can salvage that. Some little bits of wax on here. I'll get that. Okay, let's see if we can get this plate out of here. Yeah, it came out. I'm thinking, guys, I'm thinking of just leaving that out. I'm thinking of leaving that out, and I'm thinking I'm getting plugged up too quick. I'm thinking of taking, take this, use this as a template. I'm going to lay it down on some 1/2-inch hardware cloth, do a magic marker deal, and cut 2 or even 3 discs of the wire and throw in there. You need something, and I think if you triple layered it, you'd be pretty good. Look at this thing. It warped. This thing warped. So this is not a good idea at all. So anyway, yeah, I think our little experiment worked here. Not bad at all. Now you could take, if you want to clean this thing up, which I'm not going to do, I'm just leave that little bit of wax in there. No big deal. But you could take a little propane torch and melt all that stuff. Clean it right up. Alrighty. So I think our little device here is going to be beneficial. And I think we got somewhat of a success story, guys. What do you think? I'm going to run that wax again. I'm going to run this again. Really clean it up. And I got to get in here now. Those patties are done. I got to get in, get them on wax paper. And I got some other stuff to do today. I'll probably tomorrow start putting them in the hives. Keep them jacked up with patties, syrup. We're in a dearth right now, and they are hurting for food. So I'm going to try to keep them pumped up all the way to winter. And so we got plenty of colonies, plenty of bees to work with for queen rearing in the spring. We're going to get serious in 2020 when my main boy Donald Trump gets reelected, and we can start watching. I'm sorry to say this, but Democrats, we got a bridge down here. It's called the Sunshine Skyway. It's over, I think, 210 feet from the top of the bridge to the water. So, you know, they may just line up on the bridge and start jumping like lemmings. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. It's all going to be fun to watch. All right, guys. That's enough political. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Be happy.